At this point, I have to be sincere with you. I have to be sincere. I don't like the way Iran is treating the United States of America and Donald Trump. Seriously, I don't like the way Iran is treating Donald Trump and the United States. This is disrespectful. This is disrespectful. I already told you that Iran completely ignored, or let me say, snubbed the United States officials in Qatar. The meeting which was supposed to take place yesterday, the 30th of June 2026, Iran did not show up to meet the United States officials, despite the fact that Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, who is Donald Trump's son-in-law, traveled to Qatar to meet with the Iranian negotiating team. Iran completely ignored them and did not show up in Qatar. And these guys went to Qatar and were stranded. These guys went to Qatar and waited for the Iranian officials and they did not show up. Can you imagine? No, let me be sincere. Let me be sincere. This is not the way to treat a superpower like the United States. This is not the right way to treat the world's most strongest military. This is not the right way. Iran doesn't have respect for the United States again. Look at the way they are just treating them as if they are a common African country. At this point, right, let me be sincere, I don't like it at all. Imagine Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff. These are businessmen, top businessmen with a lot of investment all over the world. They sacrifice their time, travel to Qatar to come and have a meeting that Donald Trump already announced and claimed that Iran is the one who requested for that meeting. They arrive in Qatar and the Iranian officials completely ignore them. You explain to me, what is the meaning of that? So I requested for a meeting. I requested for a meeting. I told you that, okay, let's meet in this place to discuss, in this neutral ground to discuss. Then you have to travel thousands of miles to meet me in that location. Then I didn't show up. Qatar is not far from Iran, but think of the distance from the United States to Qatar. These two businessmen, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, just to arrive Qatar, and the Iranian officials ignore them. I don't just support the way Iran is treating the United States at this point. I don't like it. The United States is still a superpower. It's still a superpower, but the way Iran is just tormenting them, I don't understand. I don't understand. So was Donald Trump lying to us that Iran requested for the meeting? Because how can Iran request for a meeting and refuse to show up for the meeting? Despite the fact that your own officials traveled thousands of miles to meet them in that meeting, they didn't show up. Then their chief negotiator came out and said they are ready for war. In case diplomacy fails, they are ready for war. What is the meaning of that? I hope you understand what is happening. This is what Iran told Donald Trump. That if he thinks that diplomacy is not the best way, okay, let them go back to war. They are ready. They are always ready for war. Donald Trump is regretting ever starting this conflict against Iran because he's getting exhausted. Not only Donald Trump, but the Trump's administration is getting exhausted, all because of this conflict. It's like fighting Iran is like fighting 10 countries. Fighting Iran alone is like fighting 10 countries. So the Iranian officials came out a few hours ago and said if diplomacy failed, they are ready to go back to war. They are always ready. They insisted that the United States must fulfill their commitment, all the conditions agreed in the Memorandum of Understanding before they will have any serious talks with them again, before they will sit and talk with them. The Qatari officials came out yesterday and said the same thing, that there will be no direct talks between Iran and the United States, which means Iran already informed them that, see, Donald Trump has claimed that we requested for a meeting to meet in Qatar. We are not coming. The Qatari foreign minister said it yesterday, the 30th of June. So Donald Trump only wanted to see what Iran is going to do. Yeah, he purposely sent Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff and organized that meeting to impose on Iran. And Iran said, no, you can't impose on us. We decide what has to happen. You go and fulfill those conditions in that MOU before we can have any further negotiations. But for now, we are not going to sit to talk with you. Despite the fact that there are tensions going on in the Strait of Hormuz, things are escalating. You want us to talk about the Strait of Hormuz. You want us to decide the passage of ships and tankers in the Strait of Hormuz. You go and release our frozen asset first, as agreed in the MOU, before any other negotiation. Iran need to be studied. Iran need to be studied. They are not a country to play with. In Donald Trump's next life, advise him to attack Iran again. You cannot advise Donald Trump in his next life to think of attacking Iran, to think of going to war with Iran. What Iran has shown Donald Trump, he never dreamed of. You cannot imagine. Now, when I'm telling you things like this, you will not understand. Most of you will not understand. This is what is currently happening. This is the reality. This is not a movie. This is the reality. So Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, they are just there in Qatar, maybe having a nice time with the Qatari officials, but Iran is not showing up. They haven't shown up in that meeting. So how do we call this? How do we call this at this point? Look at the way Iran is just tormenting Donald Trump and the United States as if they are nobody. But what do you think? What is your own opinion on this? What is your own opinion? Let me hear your own opinion. You are entitled to your own opinion. So let me hear from you in the comment section. And remember to like, comment, and share this video, and look out for my next update. God bless you.